I've been working so long and so hard to get the first fish for 22.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As the title suggests, we're working on the big bass boat. So, I'll give a little bit of background of what is going on with my boat, and I'll kind of give you guys the plan and the idea of what I'm going to accomplish. This is going to be like the overview of what we're going to be doing, and then going into the video, or going farther into like this mini series type deal, I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing. So if you guys are running into the same problems or issues, or just want to update your boat, then you guys can watch those future videos. It might be like 3 or 4 episodes, but let's hop into what I'm dealing with. Alright, so I have a 1988 Tracker 1800 TF, an amazing boat. I mean, for being an 88, this boat looks very modern. It's a little slimmer than your boats today, but it's still a good boat. I love this thing, and I can afford, you know, $110,000 Phoenix. So I have my $4,000 Tracker. So first thing I did was I took my tank out and everything, so I could see all my bilge area. I could see my pump outs, or like my through hole, just so I can have an idea of what's going on. And I finally figured out the entire system, how it all works. So what I was running into was, I have my left aerator, my right aerator, my push and pull fill. I had a Livewell pump not working, and these were a piece of aluminum. These were my pumps, right? So these pumps, they had a super complicated system in here. So my through hole fittings, which are down there, I got one on each side for my left and right tank. And then that center one is the gravity overflow. So as my tank fills, show you guys here. So as my tank fills, it would hit one of these holes, and then it would gravity feed back out the bottom of the boat. Because since this water level is higher than what the water level is out here, it would force the water out of the back of the boat. Simple, right? Now, on those push-pull knobs up here, you would push and pull, and it would activate. I don't know let's see if I can. It would activate either this one or this one, depending on which side you did. Now, what that would allow is when you would pull, it would close that valve off, and then the pump had so the water would come through here, but when you close that valve off, it would force the water up and through. And then when you got out of the water, you would push, and it would drain back through here, come back through that fitting, and just go out the back of the boat. Out of the same two holes that it would fill from. So either something's wrong with this, one of these pumps was out. I don't think that disconnect is working. So I'm completely changing the system. Now, this boat has 2 bilge pumps, or 2 bilge pump holes in the back of my boat. I'll go to the other side and show you guys real quick. And this is kind of important to the idea of what I'm going to be doing. So you have 1 and 2, right? Now this had the old school like lever type for the automatic. And then it had a second pump, which was an Atwood V900 as the main bilge pump. So when you actually hit your bilge, this is the one that would activate. And then there was a float switch connected to this one, which would then pump the water out. So you'd have 1 and 2. So one would be your switch bilge, the other one would be your auto bilge. Now they're both connected to the same switch up here, so you flip down for auto and then up for manual. Now with modern bilge pumps, they actually have them to where they have the float built inside of them, so you don't need 2 separate pumps, you can just run 1 pump. Now, I'm going to run that one pump. Okay, so now we're going to get into the idea of what I'm going to do to redo my entire bilge area. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clean everything out. I'm going to get this all looking nice. I'm going to clean the gas tank up and everything because it looks like poop. So my idea is run my one bilge. So it's an auto manual in one. But then that leaves a single hole, right? That's not going to be used. And I'm not just going to leave a hole open on the back of my boat because water, as waves and stuff would come over the back, it would fill and then fill my bilge. Not a good idea. So what I was trying to think of, since I'm going to have one that's going to be pumping in, or well, pumping water out. Now what about my bilge area? So my my Livewell area, right? So my Livewell pumps and everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get two Atwood Tornadoes. I'll put a picture up right here of what it is. I can't remember the name of it because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning last night when I was thinking of all this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bilge pump here. I'm going to run it through. I'm going to run a screen on the back of each one, right? So there'll be a screen on the back side. I'm not going to touch the gravity overflow. So I'm going to be pumping in. It's going to come up, pump into my tank, right? Now on the bottom where my two drains are, those drains are not connected. Well, let me explain. So those two drains come out with 90-degree fittings, and then they come into that pipe. So when you would open it, it would open the drains up and allow it to flow out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a Y connector. I'm going to connect up the two bottom of the drains of both Livewells. Then it's going to go to a pump out pump. I'll put the pump up right here. So when I activate that pump, it's actually going to force water out, and I'm going to force it up to the other hole that's not going to be used. So since these are both bilge holes, I'm going to be using whichever one is not going to be hooked up to the auto manual bilge. So technically it'd be a second bilge pump to bilge out my Livewells. So I just won't be able to open it, let it drain out. I'll actually be able to just force drain my Livewells at that point. So if I'm on the water, I can actually force water out of my boat, out of the Livewells, and then bring in fresh water to keep my fish alive. So I can actually run both pumps at once and have a constant recirc of fresh water being sucked in, pushed into my Livewell, and then it's also forcing water out of my Livewell. So that's the idea. So yeah, I'm modernizing my system. It's gonna have the pump out feature. It's gonna have both pump ends, and I'm going to be using a pump that is a wet dry pump. So even if it's on and there's no water moving through it, it won't burn my pump out. That's important. So now I just need to find all the various parts I need. I need to figure out what size that hose is, or I need to replace my through hole fitting to a 3/4 inch. And I'm hopefully going to be able to get away with all 3/4 inch reinforced clear nylon tubing that is BPA free and non-toxic, because I don't want to be, I want my fish to survive, because this is my tournament boat. And that's going to be important, is the BPA free and non-toxic tubing for all my plumbing. So hopefully this works out. The next video, we will be doing the Livewells. We'll be getting the Livewells together and the bilge done, and then we're moving into rewiring the boat as well. I'll go into all that when that comes about. So this first episode is kind of the idea of what I'm going to be doing, and then we'll be moving into the wiring. If you guys kind of want to see that, I'll give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So I have my switch panel here. I actually made this panel myself. I'll kind of flip my camera down here so you guys can see. So I've got all my switches here, and I'm gonna be putting in a breaker. Let's see if I can find it. Ooh. I'm using a monkey pod on my big camera. It's not working out too well for me. So I'm gonna be installing one of these because last year I almost caught my boat on fire because of a short circuit up front. So I'm gonna be installing one of these guys into my boat. I have 12 different connections. Anything that runs off of a switch, or really anything in general, is gonna run through this breaker. So if something happens, I pop a fuse block. My bad, fuse block. So anything that runs through, if something happens, it'll pop, and I won't catch my boat on fire again. And it really wasn't that bad of a fire. It's just a smoking wire. Like my boat actually didn't go up in flames. I'm gonna be using one of these. I'm gonna be using a switch panel. I think it's 6 switch panel, and then a secondary 6 switch panel. I'll put a picture of each one up here. And I'm gonna be completely taking out that recirc system, and hopefully I can find a use for the hole that's gonna end up in my console. I might do like a little like cubby system I could put my phone and stuff in, just throw keys and whatnot. And then I'm gonna be redoing all of my gauges, gonna be replacing all them. And yeah, I'm basically gonna rewire my entire boat, put a brand new build system in, put brand new Livewell pumps in, redo all of my electronics and all the wiring. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be expensive. But hopefully you guys are excited for the journey. If you guys, throughout any of these videos, if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know and I will do my best to assist you. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you see any issues with how my system's going to be, let me know, because I'm going to be, from today, I'm going to be starting this in about 2-3 weeks. Hopefully it's done before our first tournament, which is April 22nd. Hopefully. And yeah, I guess now just get the funds together to get all my pumps and all my plumbing and all my wiring. Before the first tournament, the only thing I'm really worried about is getting my builds done, because I don't want open holes in the back of my boat. That's priority, and then I'll move into my wiring. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was just kind of me talking and showing you my boat, but it's kind of important to for this series to kind of set the stage for what I'm going to be doing. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you didn't, hit that dislike button. I could care less. And if you want to keep up with the build or any of my fishing videos or any of the tournament videos, we're going to be doing a lot this year. Like, we're going after the Golden Master Angler Award for Iowa. That's 5 different species over the Master Angler size limits or size requirements, and you get a gold plaque and a sticker and stuff. That's just a fun thing that a buddy and I are going to be doing this year. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the boat, if you guys see any problems with the build system I'm going to be doing or trying to implement, let me know. Yeah, as always guys, fish smart, fish safe, and I'll see you out on the water.